Hi, this is John from Life Force Rejuvenation. You're about to witness the shift. But before we get started, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Hurt is just an energy. Hurt is literally an energy. When you put a label on hurt, it gives your mind, your brain, the ability to store it in your head. And when it stores it in your head with a label, it stuffs it down below emotions, and you stuff all kinds of things on top of it, and it stays down inside and just turns around the energy. Anytime that you get reminded of it, this energy swirls up into you, and it just makes you hurt. So what we found is if you remove that label and bring that hurt up to the surface and present it to you, just the pure energy of hurt, and you feel it. It can feel pretty horrible at times. Some people, they'll break out into tears. Sometimes people throw up because the energy is just so overwhelming. But when you remove the label and you feel that hurt for the last time, you send it away. You send it out of your consciousness. And the real cool thing is it's so elegant. It's so crazy good that you never have to feel that hurt again. And that's where the healing comes in. Once you feel that hurt, you are healed from that hurt. That hurt can't hurt you anymore because it's like sticking your hand in a fire. Like, no, that hurt. And that tells your brain, don't do it again. Hell no. And if you wind up in that situation again and you feel that hurt coming at you from a different direction, it's like, hell no, I'm not going through that. Go away. That hurt last time. I ain't going to do it again. Don't do it again. That's the whole point. That's the healing part. So sit back, relax. I think it only came out in about 40 minutes. Love you. Peace around and heal. Thank you. Welcome to the introduction of the paradigm shift. How many people want change? Oh, gee, everybody wants change. But how many people want to change? That's the big difference. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his way, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make this world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Oh, this one we have to skip. It's copyright. The red pill, psychological phenomenon that refers to the discomfort felt at the discrepancy between what you already know or believe to be true and new information or interpretation of that information that contradicts that knowledge or belief. Cognitive dissonance. Amazing. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance refers to the psychological stress that occurs when a person holds two beliefs that contradicts one another or behaviors that conflict with currently held beliefs. It causes a feeling of unease and tension, whereby the individual will attempt to relieve their discomfort by explaining things away or rejecting it. The new information that conflicts with their existing beliefs. Cognitive dissonance. This discomfort is triggered by a person's belief clashing with the new information presented, causing them to try to find out a way to resolve the contradiction and reduce their discomfort. A prison for your mind. In social science, paradigm is used to describe the experiences, beliefs, and values that affect the way an individual perceives reality and responds to that perception of reality. Another use for the word paradigm is worldview. What is a paradigm, or how is a paradigm formed? Well, let's find out. A group of scientists placed 5 monkeys in a cage in the middle, a ladder with bananas on top. Every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the rest of the monkeys with cold water. After a while, every time a monkey went up the ladder, the others beat up the one on the ladder. After some time, no monkey dared to go up the ladder regardless of the temptation. Scientists then decided to substitute one of the monkeys. The first thing this new monkey did was go up the ladder. Immediately, the other monkeys beat him up. After several beatings, the new member learned not to climb the ladder, even though he never knew why. The second monkey was substituted, and the same occurred. The first monkey participated in the beatings, and the third monkey was changed, and the same was repeated. The fourth was substituted, and the beating was repeated, and finally the fifth monkey was replaced. What was left was a group of 5 monkeys that, even though they never received cold water, continued to beat up any monkey who attempted to climb the ladder. If it was possible to ask the monkeys why they would beat up those who attempted to go up the ladder, I bet the answer would be, I don't know. That's how things are done around here. Does that sound familiar? Oh. How is the paradigm formed? Oh, shit. Okay, this is our current paradigm. We've got capitalism. The few, the power, the elite are all up here on top. And the middle people like management and all that stuff. And then you have the people down here in the bottom that support everybody on the top. Like your CEOs, your vice president, the management, the employees that have things done to them. Just like this is our current, financial system. The few, the powerful have all the wealth, and yet the people down at the bottom work harder for less money to support everybody at the top. Same with the Wall Street, follow the money. You have domination and control that goes down the pyramid because they do things to people, the people, planet, and all living things. And all the wealth and resources flow up to the top. Here's our power over system. You have the elite, the few. They have a barrier between them and everybody else down here, as you will see. You have your managers, your vice presidents, and they have a barrier here also. And here we are down here, the few, working harder and harder because these people up here are doing things to us. And who keeps us in control? The judges, the police, the military, to make sure all the resources flow up to the top. Everything, food, money, power, gold, diamonds, everything. Now look at this. This is our current reality. Take a good look at this. This is what's going on. These people down here are very unhappy. These ones are, starting to get it. These ones are happy because they're not down here. And all these people down here have promises of like, if you do good, you be good. You can come work your way all the way up here and you can be just like us. Not going to happen. Our current reality, the yin and yang, is swinging backwards. And what are the results going to be? Not good. So what we need to do is a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift. Social science used the phrase paradigm shift to denote a change in how a given society goes about organizing and understanding reality. A historian of science may be tempted to exclaim that when paradigm change, the world itself changes with them. Here's a demonstration of shifting consciousness. This man sees these as 4 pillars. This man on the other side sees 3. It's all in the change of perspective of how we see things. Like astronomy, before everybody thought that everything circled around the Earth. And then along came somebody with a telescope and found out that everything revolves around our sun in the solar system anyway. Same with medicine and germ theory. Back in the old days, the feces, the trash, and the garbage were all just out there in the open. They couldn't figure out why everybody was getting sick. Then they found out there's germs involved there. Same with aerodynamics. The old perception of how man could fly, then we figured out, hey, the wings actually help lift the vehicle into the air. So now the paradigm shift, the yin and yang, this is what we're going for, to get it swinging back in the correct direction. The cosmic eye, we have to skip that one because it's a strike. Hate that. Okay, shift in consciousness. Here's our old paradigm, the power over system. People up here do things to people down here, and these people do everything for everybody up here. But in the new conscious, in the shift, everybody is a human being. Everybody is the same. Everybody's contributing towards the community. We call this the community circle. Everybody's a part of it. What a concept. Here we have our old paradigm, stressful. And the new paradigm is called holacracy. All these little circles are helping keeping the community alive. You have organization development, operational support, curriculum development, very cool. The circle community area, you have risk managers. The old reality of Wall Street and the money always flowing up to the top, the new reality is all human beings supporting the planet. If you diss the planet will diss us like a dog shaking off his fleas. Better results, old paradigm, like nuclear bombs and the earth destruction, to a beautiful, loving, kind, earth supporting system. Here we have the old paradigm. This is what we call the relationship window. And over here is our circle, the community circle. We need to get these hurt people through here into here. And that's how the real magic goes. So old paradigm. You have the elite, the few doing things to the people down here, and these people have to do things for all these people to keep this reverse reality going. Remember, this is our relationship window. These people do things to these people. It's very important, too. And all the power goes back up to the top. We call that 4. These people on top do things to the people down on the bottom because they have to do things for the people at top. It's a slave system. It's oppression at its finest. But all this picture shows that all the resources flow upwards, up to the top. All the resources don't stay within the circle. They all flow up or down, 2 and 4. It's a power over system. It's oppressive. It's a slave system. It's been, instigated or implemented back in the Roman days. They figured it out. They find it. They tuned it. Everybody lives by it. Well, not everybody, but you get the picture. If you hurt people, they will hurt people back. Hurt people hurt people. That's how our system runs. When you label people, you're treating them as objects, things to be controlled. Bad. Here we have the good system. It's a natural system. All these participants are human beings. They're treated equally. All their resources go into the center, and everybody takes what they need. They don't take everything and leave one side completely barren. But if they don't want to be with you, they're not with you. They have a right to be left alone. It's okay. Because when the day ends, everybody comes together and they're with each other. They create space, they hold space. It's a power with system. It's natural, it's the universal system, it's nature. I mean, how would these forests and all these animal kingdoms survive if they weren't power with? They are healed people heal people. That's awesome. They're human beings. They have the right to be here. We get the people from this oppressive slave system. We heal them in the relationship window. And then they come over here to the power with the natural universal system. When they're in the relationship window, they're healing. And when they're healed, they come over to the community. Now, back to hurt people, hurt people. Here we have the one, the few, the powerful, the elite. They have a barrier. We have your managers, your police, your enforcers. They're not too happy because they don't have all the wealth that this person has. They have a barrier that the people below them, the unhappy people, the rioting people can't get to, or else they would love to. So we have the powerful, the elite, middle management, the privileged, a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available to a particular person or group. Then we have the oppressed people who live in oppression, prolonged cruel or unjust treatment or control. The privileged do things to the oppression, so they have to do things for the privilege. And if you get out of line, they have the military, the judge, and the police to do things to you to make sure you keep the privilege happy, because they get all the wealth, all the resources. Hurt equals nature's teacher. Hurt is a feeling, an emotion we experience when something happens that shouldn't happen. It literally means don't do that. It's an automatic and instinctual emotional response to wrongdoing. If you feel the hurt, it heals, goes away, and you learn the lesson. Or you refuse to feel the hurt by repressing it, covering it, putting a label on it, or another emotion where it cannot heal and will never go away. There it stays inside of you, causing you to hurt yourself and others. Worse yet, you failed to learn the lesson it's trying to teach you. Healed people heal people. Here we have healed, happy people donating all their resources and time into the center of the circle, where each individual can pull from it, can draw from it. In order for these unhappy, power-hungry people, we have to heal them before we bring them into the circle. Because it's like bringing an infectious disease into the circle. It'll contaminate everybody else. Bad juju. The feeling of hurt is healing. Hurt and healing are opposite sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other. If you refuse to feel the feeling of hurt, then it's impossible for you to heal. Hurt people hurt people. On the other hand, whenever you feel the feeling of hurt, you are healing at some level. Healed people heal people. Since the feeling of hurt teaches us not to do that, every time it's felt, the lesson associated with it is learned at some level. You never have to do that again. What a concept. So here we are back in the nutshell. This is our current paradigm, which is hurt people hurt people. If you want something done, you have to hurt somebody to get it done. Not good. That's not how the power with system works. Okay, back to the relationship window. We have high control and high support. Let's do the 2 quadrant. Okay, the 2 quadrant has high control and low support. It's the authoritarians. That's punitive. It's stigmatizing. People are objects to be managed. Bad. Put a label on them. You're just an employee. I'm the manager. I work for the boss. It's blaming. The brain state is anxious and vigilant. Now, pick 3 people you have authority over. You know, it could be, you know, the employee, the janitor, whatever it is. Who are they? What are their labels? This is where it becomes bad. When you label something, it's usually something to do to them or something they have to do for you. The 4 quadrant, it has low control and high support. They become permissive, excusing, reasoning, people as objects of need. They're doing things to you because you have to do things for them. The brain state is passive and enabled. Pick 3 people who have authority over you. Think about it. Who are they? What are their labels? Okay, the not quadrant. This is the hardest one to figure out. Takes a little bit of time. Took me a little bit of time. You may get it right away, but anyway. It's low control and low support. They're being uninvolved, detached. They have a right to be ignored, or they're ignoring, you know. We'll get to that. People as subjects and to be left alone. If they don't want to be with you, they're not with you. It's okay. No big deal. Their brain state is reactive and defensive. Pick one of the people from the previous exercise and imagine them as a complete stranger. So like take your boss. Imagine him as a complete stranger. They don't have to do things to you. You don't have to do things for them. Leave me alone. I'm not with you. Now the most important one, the with quadrant. It's high control and high support. It's authoritative. You're connected. You're trusting these people. They're subjects to be honored. We get to collaborate with everybody. The brain state is relaxed but alert. Pick one of the people from the previous exercise and imagine them just as another human being. Wow. If my boss were just another human being, wow. I wouldn't mind doing things with them. I do a lot of things with them. Okay, the value of a human being. The individual is the most precious and valuable entity in existence. There is nothing of greater potential or more importance than an individual human being. Mind-blowing. The law of non-interference. Non-interference is the most important spiritual law in the universe. It is a spiritual law of harmony. Interference is deliberately trying to control another's life. If everyone honored this spiritual law, there would be no disharmony between individuals. Wow, no riots, crazy. Okay, the principle of non-aggression. Being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. Every man is free to do that which he wills, provided he infringes not the equal freedom of any other man. Wow. The only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. Nice. The precondition of a civilized society is the bearing of physical force from social relationships. In a civilized society, force may be used only in retaliation and only against those who initiate its use. Cool. The Neotech Constitution. This is the preamble. The purpose of human life is to prepare and live happily. The function of society is to protect these conditions that let all individuals achieve prosperity and happiness. Those conditions can be delivered by a constitution that prohibits the use of initiatory force or concern by any group, person, government against any individual. The Constitution, Article 1, no person, group or persons, or government may initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against the person or property of any individual. Article 2, force may be morally and legally used only in defense against those who violate Article 1. Article 3, no exception shall ever exist to Articles 1 or 2. Easy. Disease of mysticism. Mysticism is defined as any mental or physical attempt to recreate, evade, or alter reality through dishonesty, rationalization, non sequiturs, emotions, deceptions, or force. Any attempt to use the mind to create reality rather than to identify and integrate reality. Okay, neo-cheating. Any is defined as any intentional use of mysticism designed to create mind, realities, or false illusions in order to extract values from others. Neo-cheating is a technique of unearned money or power by manipulating mysticism in others. Neo-cheating is the means by which all politicians, clergymen, union leaders, many journalists, many academics, and most lawyers usurp power and values from innocent producers. Business is the cooperative development, production, and marketing of values that benefits others. Any and every aspect of business succeeds to the extent that effort, thinking, planning, and actions are free of mysticism, or fails to the extent that mysticism is injected into any decision. Business ultimately flourishes in the absence of mysticism or dies in the presence of mysticism. Mysticism is the creating of problems where none exist. Business is the solving of problems wherever they do exist. Mysticism represents stagnation and death. Business represents growth and life. Mysticism is non-business. Business is non-mysticism. Business people. Business people create values through intellectual efforts involving the widest range integration of facts and knowledge. Successful growing businesses always require honest, long-term planning combined with constant integration of time with effort. Few people have any ideal or appreciation of that constant, hard-driving effort and difficult integrations required for a businessman to create and maintain honest, value-producing jobs for others. Business. Moral. The meaning of moral in Neotech is simple and direct. Whatever is consciously done to help fill human biological needs is good and moral. The productive action of honest people. Whatever is consciously done to harm or prevent the filling of human biological needs is bad and immoral. The destructive actions of mystics and neo-cheaters. Integrated thinking. Integrated thinking is the conscious effort of putting information into accurate content by logically and honestly connecting all relevant knowledge. All valid and powerful knowledge is contextual. Thus, genuine power is gained through integrated thinking used to obtain the widest possible range of contextual knowledge. Integrated thinking delivers unbeatable advantages. The oppressor. The oppressor has nothing more than the power you confer upon him to destroy you. Where has he acquired enough eyes to spy upon you if you do not provide them yourself? How can he have so many arms to beat you with if he does not borrow them from you? The feet that trample down your cities, where does he get them if they are not your own? How does he have any power over you except through you? How would he dare assail you if he had not cooperation from you? Non-mystics. Non-mystics are innocent and moral. They accept the discipline and responsibility to think and act with integrated consistency. They support themselves by producing competitive values for others. With loyalty to honesty, they act in concert with reality. They are involved, honest people. They strive to fully integrate their words and actions with reality, regardless of anyone's dogma, dictates, or opinions. As a result, non-mystics benefit everyone in society. Hi, Chad. To seize control of, such as a vehicle, an airplane, a bus, by use of force, especially as a way of reaching an alternative destination as an act of terrorism. To take control of something without permission or authorization and use it for one's purpose. To steal or appropriate for oneself. Seize, take over, commandeer, expropriate, kidnap, observe, seize, rob, steal, assume. Now, restorative. Return to its original and usable and functioning condition. To bring into existence or use. Reestablish. To bring back to its original and normal condition. To place a former position or location. Bring back to health, good spirits, etc. To bring back to a state of health, soundness, and vigor. Practices, what I need to do a lot more of. To do or perform habitually and customarily, make a habit of. To do or perform something repeatedly in order to acquire or polish a skill. Kind of a little rough. Yeah. To give lessons or repeated instructions. Drill, 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 drill. To work at, especially as a profession. To carry out an action, observe. To do and perform something habitually and repeatedly. A habitual or customary action or way of doing something right over and over and correctly without misspells or hiccups or humane, characterized by tenderness, compassion, sympathy for other beings, especially for the suffering or distressed. Marked or motivated by concern with the alleviation of suffering. Civilized, having a high state of culture and development, both social and technological. Kind, compassion, good, kindly understanding, gentle, forgiving, tender and mild, sympathetic, charitable, benign, clement, benevolent, the merciful, good-natured, forbearing, and kind-hearted. Yeah, be humane to me. Inhumane, lacking humility, kindness, compassion, etc. Cruel to animals, brutal. Yeah, cruel and savage, severe, harsh, grim, unkind, heartless, unsympathetic, hellish, depraved, barbarous, pitiless, unfeeling, uncompassionate. Why does inhumane have so many definitions? Right? Trying to cover something up here. You know, unfeeling, non-sympathetic, savage, not suited for human beings, not human, lacking kindness, pity, compassion, cruel, and indifferent. So last one's cruel, savage, brutal, vicious, ruthlessness, barbaric, heartless, merciless, diabolical, cold-blooded, remorseless, barbarous, fiendish, pitiless, unfeeling, bistro. Now, these are the services that are going to be a part of this. It's part of restorative practices. You know, first of all, we have healing circles. And then there's a part called healing or restorative conferences, where you get a group together and heal. Family group relation conferences, you know, mother, father, son, daughter, not getting along very well. We're also going to have, you know, healing sessions, workshops, training, and coaching. All of this is a part of Holacracy. We are going to teach you how to maintain and thrive in community circles and restorative circles. Big part. These are some of the things that we offer. We just did the paradigm shift. We're going to be going into defining restorative, history, social discipline. There's a fair process where we teach you the 9 affects and the shame of compass. You know, when you do something bad, what's the first thing you do? You have shame. It's like, oh, I can't believe I did that. It's really trippy. That's part of the thing that got me into this. We'll have consulting, facilitation, coaching, implementation. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be totally mind-blowing. So today was just the paradigm shift. These are the main highlights that we will be going through. I got a whole lot of this stuff coming at you. Remember, this is a power over system. These people up here do things to all the people down here. And these are the enforcers, the judges, the cops, the military. Why? Because they want all the resources to flow upward. Hurt these people, and make them hurt these people so they will do things for all the elites. Remember, you got the CEOs, the elite, the few, the powerful. They have a barrier that you cannot reach them through. They get their managers, the middle people to hurt these people down below them, so they will keep doing things for them. The more they do to us, the farther they keep us down. And then remember the social discipline windows. The width effect has high control and high support when you're with people in a restorative environment. The relationship window is the stepping stone into community circles. And with that, I thank you for bearing with me. It's going to be an awesome journey. This is just the beginning. Thank you for watching. Before I let you go, one last thing. I recorded this a couple days ago, and my computer crashed because they didn't want this information out there. Yeah, that's what I believe anyway. That's what my higher self told me. And I couldn't recover it. So yesterday I redid it, and it had such a huge copyright strike on it. They didn't block it. They took it all out of there, just scrubbed it out of their system completely. It was like, geez, sorry, I hurt your feelings. But anyway, I totally thank you for watching. I love you, you, and you, and you, and all you people unconditionally. Thank you for watching. Peace around.